Hey there, welcome to the second episode of Danny Mumbles DIY. This episode will be more training centric, featuring the tapes Steffan and I made of the second time we did the focus mitts, as well as the first time we tried out the Tae Kwon Do kicking paddle. So hopefully, you guys will find some amusement in our antics there. The format's going to be bits of the tape intercut with like commentary, talking head bits, and so hopefully that format's enjoyable. If not, let us know where there's improvements that can be made. So yeah, I guess that's all there is to say about the in this opening. Let's roll into the first segment there. All right, today we're gonna push it a bit harder than last time. We're just gonna keep going. With our second focus mitt session here, Steffan really came out of the gate firing on all cylinders. Go. Right. 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 Oh. Left, right. Right, right. Left. Left, right. Right, right. After our first focus mitt session, I really wasn't expecting this much of a jump in intensity, but it was definitely welcome.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we, just had more intensity. I mean, we're trying to, get better, and I just felt like I needed to elevate that intensity early on, vocally, and then, just keep up the pace and just really get in gear.
Left, right. Right, right. Left. Right. Left, right. Left, right. Good block. Steffan really kept me on my toes this session with a steadily changing pattern of strikes. It was quite something.
Well, I just thought we, to get things at another level, we had to be more authentic, and it had to be more real. When you're in a real fight, you don't know what's coming, so I had to mix it up.
Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left, right. Right. Left. Right. Left, right. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Okay, let's do.
So, I think we're gonna go to the next level constantly. We're both helping each other out here. I'm trying to get him to the next level. I'm trying to push myself to be a better teacher, and I think that we're going to, we're going to do well. We make a good team. So, I think this is a process that's, we want to get here, right here, and we're on the right track.
Do the one where you just call the hand and then swipe. So I just do random combos. When you pull the hand up, just need a quick breather for a sec. What? Like go, you just go. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Go. 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 Right. Go. Go. Totally missed that guy. Good. Don't be afraid to kick even when I fail, man. Steffan kept tagging me. Ribs, shoulders. Seemed like anytime I didn't get my guard up, I got tagged.
I just kept looking for an opening, trying to make contact anywhere I could.
Go. 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 You're dodging. Go. Stay kicking. You're dodging. Good. Go. 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 Oh! That hit really caught me off guard. And it fucking, I tell you what, it rattled me.
When I struck him in the eye, I was like, wow, this is for real. We're actually doing this.
I tell you what, though, I was sure thankful, because that hit really woke my ass up. That was good, man. That was fun, bro. Thank you. That was a good hit, man. More of that. At that point, I was feeling a bit ragged, but that hit in the face really gave me a second wind. Go. 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 Walk. Go. 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 You got me good, man.
Towards the end of the session, he really started to pick up the pace, and he was blocking everything in plain sight.
Go. Go. Good boy. Go. 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 Hey! Ooh. I think that's a sign to take a little break there. Oh. Truth be told, I was just lucky the glove flew off at that point, because I thought I was going to have a goddamn heart attack. So that was our second attempt to try to use the focus mitts. Hopefully you enjoyed our amateur antics and the somewhat embarrassing slapstick elements that went along with that. Up next is our first time trying out the Tae Kwon Do kicking paddle. So hopefully you enjoy the footage. It's I guess a little less slapstick than perhaps the focus mitts, but hopefully entertaining nonetheless. Anyways, as I said before, I think, enjoy, and let's roll tape. So we're trying out the kick pad for the first time. Expect it to be clumsy as fuck. And alright. Going into this exercise, I thought I was going to embarrass myself. Well, more than usual at least. I half expected that I'd kick my feet out from under me like I was doing the river dance on some kind of overly polished ballroom floor. Good kick. This is like me. Didn't fall though. Didn't fall. Sure, my moves ain't pretty. Perhaps even, as they say in the opening, clumsy as fuck. But I count the fact that I didn't break anything, hurt myself, split my fucking head open, break my neck, or injure Steffan to, count as like a win or a W, as Steffan would say. Anyways, after landing in the rough, we decided to switch sides.
I was surprised you didn't fall in his fucking face.
Let's try from the other angle this time. So we'll go like swap sides of the driveway. That way I'm not going to walk into the foot. This side there's like maples. Oh, did it hit you in the head? No. Holy shit. Kick. There's this loud slap, and I was like, turn, so
Yeah, it didn't touch me that hard.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. That would have not been nice. The reason I got so excitable there when the thing swung up and slapped him was because while we were setting up the tripod and stuff for filming, we decided, like, oh, we should see how you're going to have to hold this, because we never did this stuff before. I mean, focus mitts is just slip it on. But with the thing, you got to hold it somehow, right? So it's like maybe too tight, maybe too loose. So he tried to cradle it, and he had the wrist strap on. And, like, I just stood there and just fucking wound up and kicked it. And the thing swung out of his hand, and it, like, swung up and slapped him in the head. So we didn't really want to have a repeat of that because, I mean, it's kind of shitty to hurt Steffan when he's just trying to help me out, you know, right? So anyways, that's the reason why I was like, oh, because of that. Fucking gun shooter guy. After taking a few regular kicks, I figured it would be a pretty easy way to stretch out and warm up by taking a few running or charging type kicks. So that's what will be up next. I gotta make some contact though. Good. Okay. After doing some of the charging or running type kicks, I felt a lot more loosened up and less awkward and more limber in the muscles. Doing high kicks wasn't something I even started practicing until a month or two before we tried out the paddle. And the paddle was the first time with an actual target. So it was quite a new experience to me there. Fucking Lucy pulling the football away. That ain't gonna happen, Charlie Brown.
You gotta have fun during training. You gotta make the mood light and playful.
Yeah, put it at shoulder height. Let's see.
Oh, good kick.
Yeah, if I hit the corner of it.
I do it like that.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
That could work, yeah. I nailed the edge of the paddle a couple times during the exercise. After the session wrapped up and the excitement or adrenaline or whatever you want to call it wore off, it hurt like a son of a bitch. There were these two finger-sized red lines that went across my instep where I made contact with the two faces of the paddle because it's like a double-sided paddle or whatever. And yeah, it hurt for a couple days. I was just lucky I didn't, hurt any of the little bones or whatever that supposedly are in there.
Sure, he missed some kicks and punches, but he did his best. That's all a coach can ask for.
The extension's okay, it's just the snap and the actual contact with it. It's not really getting there.
Oh, fuck yeah. Good. Good kick.
Thanks, dude.
Good kick, man. Combination. You knocked it out of my head. You would have hit it, Tyler.
It could have been grasshopper.
I was really impressed how high he got his kicks up. Over his head at times. It just really blew me away. I didn't expect it. Look at chin.
I'm going to try and spin it with the back this time. So see if I can come through. So just be careful in case I can spin right into you there. think that's a pretty decent first test. I mean, we keep fucking around with it off camera, but dude, check the fucking ground out though.
What's the arm?
Yeah, but it's just from fucking like spinning around, man.
Oh, actually, I'm looking at a shadow of it.
Fuck, dude, it's a rut in the ground, bro. All those spinning kicks took their toll. I wasn't used to planting on the foot that I was using that day, and so I ended up getting a, well, I guess it started to form the callus that day probably behind my big toe where I was like planting and spinning on it. Yeah. For $10 online, this thing, not too shabby.
I gave it a thumbs up, man.
Fuck it, eh? The internet, man, great equalizer.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we'll cut there.
Keep going.
Hopefully you enjoyed the last bit there with the Tae Kwon Do kicking paddle. I know it wasn't as much slapstick comedy perhaps as the focus mitts, but you know, maybe there was something there that was visually interesting or something that, you know, amused you in some kind of way. Anyways, yeah, I guess that's not much else to say to wrap up this episode. So, you know, be safe out there and have fun, and, you know, thanks for tuning in. Bye for now. You can catch us on the Twitter, you know, if you want to.